In the 1930s, an entire nation was brainwashed. It was manipulated by masters of propaganda and the arcane arts. The result was the deaths of millions of people. The world was changed in just a few short years. The men behind this massive scheme were members of the most evil and vile of political parties ever to have existed. We know them as the Nazis. Their purpose was to bring about the rise of a so-called Aryan race. A race that would rule the world for 1,000 years. This would be the Third Reich. In order to see the fulfillment of their grand scheme, they needed to eradicate certain races from the globe and subjugate others. In order to achieve this, they needed millions of people to believe and follow them and only them. And so they created a Messiah, a God on earth. His name was Adolf Hitler, and he would become the master of manipulating the hearts and souls of man. From mass hypnosis to blatant propaganda, from control of the media to eradicating the opposition. All methods were employed. This is the story of how that incredible goal was actually brought to fruition and the methods used to control the minds of men. This is the story of Nazi propaganda. There can be very few people who have not heard the term Nazi. And yet there are very few who can pinpoint the actual meaning. Yes, it brings to mind terrible atrocities and evil-looking characters. From war films. We all know that it is a word with evil connotations. Their symbol, the swastika, is banned from public display in almost all parts of the world. But why is it that in living memory, millions of people followed them? How did so many people get drawn into what became, quite possibly, the darkest period in human history? In this film we look into the purpose of the Nazi Party. We explore the power they had over the mind and we examine their methods of propaganda and hypnosis. Who were they? What did they do? Why and how? It's time to get inside the mind of the Nazis, the monsters of manipulation. The actual term Nazi is the shortened version of the National Socialist German Workers' Party, the brainchild of one particular man who rose from the ashes of a poverty-stricken Germany, Adolf Hitler. As a youth in Austria, Adolf Hitler became politically influenced by radical German nationalism. This led him into anti-Semitism as well as hatred for the Slavs, Habsburgs, Catholics and more. It was at this time he saw the merits of absolute party leadership, the title of Führer and even the greeting of Heil. Heil mein Führer.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?